Yo guys, welcome back to the Arch Nemesis YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be exploring in depth what we can expect from Universal Studios' Halloween Horror Nights' new house, Haunting of Hill House. Haunting of Hill House is a Netflix original created by Mike Flanagan. And this year, Netflix have teamed up with Universal Studios to bring us Haunting of Hill House, The Maze, or The House if you're in America. This is a very similar collaboration to what we've seen with Stranger Things appearing at Halloween Horror Nights in 2018 and 2019 in both LA and the Florida theme parks. Haunting of Hill House is also set to appear at both LA and Florida parks. So the house is rumoured to be located in the second Parade Warehouse, which, if you don't quite know that location, is right next to the new Beetlejuice house. The second Parade Warehouse has been home to mazes in the past, such as Seeds of Extinction and Universal Monsters in 2019. This is the information that Halloween Horror Nights have released on their website. Each unsettling room, each darkened hallway takes you deeper and deeper into your worst nightmares. Come face to face with the tall man, the bent-necked lady, the ghost in the basement, and more. Enter the Red Room and you may find yourself spending all of eternity listening to the sound of your own screams.
You're about to enter Hill House.
So, what can we actually expect to see in this new house? Well, before I go any further, I just want to warn you guys that there will now be spoilers for the Netflix original series, which I highly recommend you go and check out. I'm currently rewatching it for the 4th time, so I'm a little bit obsessed, but it's a fantastic series. And there will also be mild spoilers for inside this Halloween Horror Nights house because photos have been released by Universal Studios themselves. So there's no leaks here. It is official, but if you don't want to see what's inside the house, I recommend you skip to another part of the video or probably check out a different video on the channel. So from what we can see online, the house starts with the beautiful facade of Hill House. And a great little detail here, the sign for Hill House has been graffitied over saying Hell House, which you can also see in the series too. The windows of the house are lit up to show whatever's in there is living and wants you to come inside. Just like the series, it's great to see that we will be welcomed into the house just how the house wants to welcome all of its victims. From these photos here released by Universal, you can see the spiral staircase, which is awesome and something that I've always wanted to see in this house. I'm hoping that Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights can do some trickery here, maybe with mirrors, and make it seem like that room is much taller than it actually is, because in the series that staircase winds on for ages, so hopefully it can give a sense of height. There's also some really cool details, such as the skeleton in the wall, which is really exciting and will be really cool to walk past. But from these photos, the main locations that we will be walking through is the house itself. Currently, no other photos have been released showing that we could be walking through other locations. At the moment, it is just Hill House, the haunted house that I assume we will be taking the route through. Other locations that I would love to see represented in this house would be Shirley's funeral home, in which we can see Nellie's funeral scene. I'd love to walk past the coffin, maybe duplicated rooms, so seeing that funeral scene different times with different things going on would be really interesting. But I have all faith in Halloween Horror Nights, and if their vision is to just go through this terrifying, creepy, haunted house, then I'm all for it, because we get to see scenes such as the basement slash the wine cellar, in which little Luke comes face to face with what looks like a zombie type ghost down there, and that was teased in the trailer for The Maze, which looks super scary. Another teaser for a scare which they have leaned on quite a lot in the marketing is the tall man. He's also seen on the t-shirts which have been released at Universal Studios. This guy is super scary and is the main ghost that haunts Luke in the series. I am terrified, but really looking forward to how they pull off the illusion of him maybe levitating with his cane, or the illusion of him being really tall. Now, a scare that I'm really excited for, and a scare that I hope is duplicated throughout the maze in different creative ways, is the bent neck lady. Oh my gosh, this character terrifies me and still gives me sleepless nights. I'm currently rewatching and she's intense. You just never quite know where she's gonna turn up, and in the series she turns up far too many times in far too many terrifying locations. So I'm excited to see where Halloween Horror Nights is going to translate these scares into the maze. Now, I personally believe that Haunting of Hill House has one of the greatest jump scares in the history of horror cinema. If you guys have carried on watching and ignored my previous spoiler review, please cut to this time in the video because I do not want to ruin this scare if you do fancy watching it sometime in the future, because it's all about the tension, it's all about the build up, it's one of the best scares ever. But here's my spoiler review for the scare. It is when Nellie jumps into shot from the back of the car whilst Shirley and Theo are having this really intense duologue.
I'm not making excuses. I saw.
And I think, just like many of you watching, I absolutely shat myself when I saw this for the first time. I think they could do it if we walked past the car and had this animatronic launch forward into the front seats of the vehicle, maybe have the car horn and the car lights blasting. I think that would be a really cool way of paying homage to that fantastic jump scare scene. So, talking about the structure of the house and how us as guests will navigate through this house is really interesting. At the moment, it's rumoured that the first few scenes will be really eerie and super creepy, but not very intense. And as you go throughout the house, it will get more and more intense, obviously ending in a terrifying finale. So I think we can expect to start to navigate our way through Hill House, seeing some of the famous scenes such as the big hallway, the big open doors, and maybe the chandelier, winding our way through the corridors of Hill House to then eventually be greeted by a lot of spooky ghosts. But as I mentioned before, it is rumoured that this house only follows the actual house. So I'm nervous to see whether we might get the funeral home or whether we're just going to stay in Hill House. Another thing to note is that this house probably won't follow the Crane family.
The Crane family finds this house in rural Massachusetts, and of course it all goes horribly wrong.
While we definitely will see ghosts that haunt them, I'm not certain that we will see much of the Crane family in the house. I think this is due to us as guests entering the house, sort of embodying the role of the Crane family living in the house. We're going to be exploring it instead of them, which I think personally is a shame, but also makes perfect sense.
You're scared, I can tell. How? Because I'm scared.
Something that the Netflix series is critically acclaimed for is its little Easter eggs of ghosts in the background. I think the house will also have its fair share of these Easter eggs too. As you can see from this facade shot, I've already spotted an Easter egg, which is little Abigail in the window. If you zoom in to just above the porch, you can see that Abigail is watching the guests entering the house. I think that is super creepy and a really cool Easter egg for anyone that is a fan of the series or just looks up into the window and sees a little girl. I mean, it's already very off-putting. I want to say a big shout out to Kieran Adams, who sent me this screenshot from Twitter. It's really exciting because it details out-of-the-box scares and creative ideas that the team have been working really hard to put together. John Murdy has also mentioned that there will be some really cool illusion sequences, and people are really excited about this big finale, including ghosts who inhabited the house. So there we have it. That is my detailed review on what we know so far and what we can expect from Halloween Horror Nights Haunting of Hill House. Please let me know in the comments what you're excited for and what you think we can expect in this maze. We've now got 3 mazes confirmed for Halloween Horror Nights, which are Puppet Theatre, Beetlejuice, and Haunting of Hill House. I wonder what we will get next. Please drop me a comment if you guys want to chat about the event or about Hill House, as I'm a massive fan. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It means an awful lot to me and does wonders for the growing channel, so I appreciate it very much. My name is the Arch Nemesis. I hope you guys don't get nightmares from watching this video. Take it easy, guys. Thank you for watching.